Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Sunday Night Coffee Talk. I see Lynette has joined us, says she will be listening while driving. So that's good. I would like it if you don't pay attention to messages while driving. So travel safe and we appreciate you. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. And Tutu Cat saying hello to Lynette anyways. So let's see. And Barely Begun. Hey, Coda Bear. And of course, awesome moderator Attila is here. So good to see you. As you can see, there's a cat sighting. And also, I'm still trying to put things away from the convention so you can see the top half of our Catan vending machine. Hey, Rickwin. So that's some fun stuff here. Everything's crazy. I don't know, like this week coming back from the convention was harder than usual, and I don't really exactly know why. So, but I've got a lot of cool stuff to share with you. And actually, I'm going to grab some of it from the fridge right now because I forgot. So let me do that. Because although I might wait and see if Hungry Heath and the Warden show up before I talk about it. Look at that. I can hide behind my ingredients. Hey, Visual Keto. Why, it's been a while. So, yeah. Let's see. And Tutu Cat says, never a dull moment at Maitreya's. I do live a little bit on the crazy side. Such is life. But you know what? Better now than when I can't do it anymore. So, good stuff. I can hear kids screaming outside, you guys. It is so gorgeous here. It is utter perfection outside. Hey, Gigi's here. Nice to see you. And Bad Apple, hey, good to see you. Eclipse Eve, I know, and that's contributing to my being all crazy. But we're still gonna do a partial meal prep because I didn't make the cauli rice yet, and I actually don't need a meal for myself this evening. So I'll taste the meat portion, but I didn't make cauli rice yet. There's some meat lasagna still in the fridge. There's food galore. My house is like stuffed with food, and we'll get into some of that too. But tonight what I'm making is a Panang pork curry. Now, Panang is similar to Thai red curry. But it's a little bit sweeter in taste. And I think I forgot to put sweetener in the recipe for the paste, should you choose to try and make your own. But just, it's a bit sweeter than your average red curry. It has lemongrass, galangal, your typical red chilies, all of that good stuff pasted together. So nothing new or exciting in the curry paste. In fact, the recipe is going to seem just like the one we made a couple weeks ago. Only I got my keffir lime leaves. Hooray! So, however, I couldn't get a hold of fresh ones. So these are dried. So we'll have to put them in to simmer. I did take half of a purple onion, and it's hard to see on the camera. It looks real dark. They're not burnt, but because they're purple onions, and I heavy caramelized them to enrich that flavor, they look dark. It's kitchen lighting. There's sun blaring in from here. It's just going to look that way. But trust me, they are fantastically caramelized, just right. I have my chicken bone broth, and my full fat coconut milk. I did take pork tenderloin and cut it up, and I marinated it in yogurt and used like some tandoori spice. And I saved a little bit of tandoori spice mix right over here to add into the sauce to kind of bump it up a little bit. So let's see, what do we got going on here? Oh, yeah, Sharon says, yeah, it's a great day. The lawns are done, and it's still bright and sunny. Yeah, Attila mowed the lawn, and it looks great. Our neighbors got mulch delivered, so they have like a mountain of mulch piles out there. And I was like, well, we probably should have done that as well, but, it is what it is. And Renee says she loves all the curries. The warden says they just got home feeding the dogs, and Heath is unloading the car. Wow, that's amazing, though. You guys made some time, that's for sure. So let's see. Oh, and Barely Begun says, not burnt, just heavily caramelized. You should have been a publicist. No, heavily caramelized is definitely different from burnt. They're burnt would have black, and these aren't, there's no black at all. It's just dark brown. So I'm not being shifty. If the lighting were a little bit better, or I could unhook my pan all the way, you could see it. So there is a difference. Heavily caramelized is completely different from burnt or blackened. Let's see. Bad Apple, Renee says that the warden in Hungry Heath made it home fast because her cousin is a enforcer on potty time for road trips. I mean, I'm just saying, when we take road trips, I do have to stop more frequently. I have old lady bladder, so I'll be honest, the enforcer on the no stopping would just mean that I would have an accident in the car. So we'll stop more. I'm not one of those people who can go in a jar. It isn't going to happen. So we just plan appropriately though for it. Everybody's aware that I have to do a frequent stopper. So it is what it is. And the warden says, yeah, they had to pull over and have an emergency side of road potty. Yeah, so that happens. Anyways, I'm going to turn out my water. I'm going to heat my water up, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you about this tea. Today we have Boreal. This is by Sown and Foraged, or Foraged and Sown. Foraged and Sown, we've talked about them on this channel before, and they are a local woman-owned farm that has herbs. They sell seedlings during the spring and summertime, and then they have teas and local produced salts. Oh gosh, you guys. So this Boreal is an evening tea. It says cooling and smooth. It contains juniper berry, elderflower, lemon thyme, and tulsi. And we'll talk about those herbs in a second, but I'm going to put some in here to make my pot of tea. And I'm going to throw it all over the counter, as you can see. Just give me a minute. It's fluffy because there's some big, the tulsi leaf and the stems from the lemon thyme are big. So, oh, the aroma is just, I can't even tell you how amazing it is for the fresh dried herbs. The tulsi has only just been harvested, so it's really, really delightfully pungent. Renee says the warden would pack me some potty pads. Hey, that's not my kink. I'm just saying. So anyways, the nice thing about these though is with the herbs, you should know, like the juniper berry is where you're going to get a lot of your gut health. If you get upset tummies and stuff like that, juniper berry is really good for that. It also helps if you get heartburn or if you have acid reflux. It helps calm all of those acids down a little bit. And so does the lemon thyme. The tulsi is more in the anti-inflammatory arena. It's actually basil. It's a type of basil. It's a more sweet basil leaf. So it comes with all of those benefits as well. So it's just really nice. Well, let's see what we got here. Missing something here. Let's see. Barely Begun has just been saying he's recovering from a Saturday market. Oh, yeah, that's hard. Those are hard work. So let's see. And yeah. So tell us about the market. I want to hear. And now my water is up to temperature, so I'm going to put this over so we can let it steep. And then we can get cooking and talking about all of the other stuff. I'm super excited to share a couple things. Now, I will tell you, it's all herbs. Too bad Carrie's not here so we could hear about this no caffeine that he can have. So, oh well. And then Hungry Heat says, boo, hiss. What? Oh, overshare. A Hungry Heat happens to the best of us. Oh, I almost overfilled my teapot. It's going to be an exciting pour, especially since I forgot my tea glass. Let me get another cup. Well, it's not clear, but it'll do in a pinch. This is an Illy cup. Illy is a type of a coffee brand, espresso brand. We've had their espresso on this channel before, and at one point I had one of their coffee machines, and a coffee subscriptions that came with these cups. So I like to use clear so that you can see it, but you can see the lovely, nice golden color there, and it'll be just fine. We'll just cover this and let it steep. Hey, Keto Simple, nice to see you. All right, let me just push this. Ooh, I'm spilling it because I overfilled it. So that's all right. That's what paper towels are for, and post live stream, that's why we bleach the counter. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat back on. And we're going to warm this back up. I had like a little smear of lard, and that's what I caramelized the onions in. So then, where are we? Let's see. Keto Simple says, Heart should be a video on your Yelp review of getting older with MS. Oh, Hungry He says, getting old with MS is not fun. Do not recommend. Yeah, it's actually, you said something earlier on your live stream about the heat bothering you, and you know that's also probably related to the MS. But also, Renee says MS or no MS, again, bladder is no fun. Guys can do Kegels too, so we're just gonna gloss right over all of this. So anyways, Keto Simple says, or is it a schmear? It was kind of like a schmear, but I always equate schmears with like going on something. Like you would have a smear of butter onto a wrap or something. So the first thing I'm going to do is add in my garlic. You know there's garlic. We're just going to throw that right in there. Give that a stir to get that toasting. The aromatics of curry is just something that's absolute heaven to me. And again, very, very simple and easy. We're going to add in our chicken broth. You guys, one of my little leaves from the tea fell in there. We'll just be taking that out. Wrong kind of leaves. All right, and from here, I want to go ahead and put in my keffir lime leaves. So just so you can see the whole leaf. And they, like bay leaves, you'll simmer these for a while and then we'll take them out. You don't need a ton because they're heavily floral. In fact, one more. And that's all I'm going to do, and we will let those simmer. I love it. It smells, but it is definitely very floral. It reminds me of like the way Lemon Pledge smells. So if you like that smell, they smell like that, but they give a very nice, lovely lime, sweet lime flavor. I have a small cat over there lurking. And we just need to get these into the liquid so that they can steep in that flavor. It'll help flavor and season up and sweeten our broth for the curry. We can also go ahead and add in the coconut milk and let that come up to temperature. Make sure we get all the good coconut fat in there because, you know, that's what makes our curry delightful. Actually, the paste is what makes it delightful, but, you know, I like to make it up as we go. So we're going to let this come up. It just smells so nice. I love it. Let's see. And Hungry He says, this is coffee talk time, not my medical advice time. There's no medical advice here. There's only, you know, nerds who read a lot. But there's no medical advice. No one here is a medical doctor. We do have some really well versed people, though, with some good advice and ideas to research and start from. I'm also going to go ahead and add in my salt and pepper because I like to let that also bloom in and get seasoned, and the powdered tandoori spice mix that I have got in here. That way it can all simmer together. We don't want to add the paste in yet, though. We want this to come and for those leaves to really have some time to simmer while we chat before we pluck them out and then mix in the paste and the meat. But like always, I know there's more work to it because I did prep ahead of time with cutting up and cooking the pork, but marinating it for a few hours in spiced yogurt, it's really not hard. If you don't want to make your own paste, jarred or canned is fine. Just be aware that you'll want to add like some additional spice to it, and you're good to go. It's a super easy, super flavorful, really bang for your buck meal. And with that, look at how we are well on our way to some amazing stuff. Hey, Carrie, good evening. Let's see. Brooklyn says it'll soon be hot enough and you'll be looking for ice. Put together a go-to bag for your shows and you'll have everything you need, and not forget, I have a bug out bag. Oh, nice. That's a good idea. Let's see. Renee says, also nerds who consider you all friends and family, so it comes from love. It is from a place of love, that's for sure. So, but yeah, so now we've got, and you can sort of see it on the camera, not real well, but it's starting to simmer here. And we'll just occasionally reach over and give it a little stir. This helps the broth reduce, and that will help make the sauce begin its thickening process, as well as infusing with those keffir lime leaves. Hungry, he says, thank you. And Carrie says, let's see, he says he meant 96, not 86. So, oh, no worries about being late. It's a live stream. It's good that you were able to get some rest. I'm going to go ahead and pour this tea into my cup before I spill it any more all over the counter. But you can see that lovely gorgeousness. It just brewed up absolutely, absolutely lovely. And then I'm going to set this off camera so that we can continue with our little cooking journey here, and then also start talking about some of the other stuff. So as Renee pointed out, it is Eclipse Eve. So we made plans. We took the day off from work for the eclipse, and we're going to be we're doing a long bike ride out to a friend's ways away, about 25 miles away. So we'll do a 50-mile round trip bike ride, but we're going to sit on their patio and enjoy the outdoors. And I have packed, and I know some of these things are not the best keto foods, and we should strive to not always have packaged foods, but sometimes it's just what's warranted. So I have packed a couple Quest bars in there for us. We had 3 packages of maple waffle keto chow. So I used one of those and made some chaffles. And I've packed some chaffles into my bike bag. And so one of the things that we all love for fat, delicious fuel is that we used to really love the super fat nut butters or the F-bomb nut butters. Now, these were fortified with MCT and other things. So it was not 100% nut butter, but it also wasn't like a lot of palm oil or other garbage ingredients. But both super fat and F-bomb are dead products. So Okay, Air Fried Annie says, as she lost, she seriously thought it was 3:30 PST. So Air Fried Auntie, about three or four live streams ago, I changed it to 6 o'clock. So it's going to be 3 o'clock every week now. It was not a one-off change. It was a long-term change because I was struggling with the time management and with being over hungry in a bad way with the 6:30 live stream. Now, that's a non-issue today, but most live streams, it was beginning to be very unhappy for me. And rather than stop doing live streams or like killing off my channel, I was like, don't be dumb, Maitreya, just move it back half an hour. And so that's what I did. So. And Renee's asking if my tenderloin is cooked already. Yes. I did cook it already. All I did was, because I marinated in spiced yogurt, I then took the spiced yogurt, cut up tenderloin, threw it on a baking sheet, and roasted it off in the pan. I took away the excess liquid and fluid from it and used some of that to cut my broth with, so that it was a little bit more of that same spice mix, the whole 9 yards. And I just baked it in the oven at 375 for about 25 minutes. But it was a full sheet pan of meat, so it was just perfect. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah, so I did try to order some nut butters so that have MCT to it. I haven't looked super close at the ingredients yet. I plan to. They're supposed to deliver today, but they're not even on a truck yet, so I didn't have confidence that it will arrive, which means that I was missing a big fatty element to our bike ride food. And I was like, well, fine. I will go back and to the grocery and just buy my least favorite nut butter, the Justin's, because they're supposed to be all natural nut butters. But you guys, when did the all natural nut butters become no longer all natural nut butters, where it was just peanuts and salt? They all of them, whether it was in packets or jars, had palm oil and sugar in it, and not with the asterisk saying sustainable. So what I wound up, finally, it took forever, only one at the Kroger had a product I could use. This is the Simple Truth Organic Crunchy Peanut Butter that is just peanuts and salt. Ridiculous, right? Everything else was tons of ingredients, which, you know, if you're looking to feel better, you don't want to add in stuff that you don't like. And I know we're having Quest bars, which are already questionable. Like, you know, come on. And it's one thing if you already know that a product should be somewhat questionable, like your Quest bars. It's another when there's zero reason for it to have those things in it, and it's all in there. You know, all of those, you know, the Simply Jif or the all natural Skippy, they used to be peanuts and salt, and now they're not. Horrible. So I was very displeased. At any rate, so there was that. I am going to get ready now to go ahead and add in my curry paste. You can see that this has gotten a lovely coloration from the spices. My leaves are getting softer and they're infusing. So now it's curry paste time. And if you're wondering why I haven't drank the tea, it's because it's too hot and I have to let it cool down a little. So we're just going to blend this in and let it, it'll have to simmer for a little bit to infuse all that lovely curry flavor and thicken up properly. The smell, though, the aroma. And Renee says, yum, cooked in spiced yogurt sounds amazing. Yeah, the yogurt adds like a really nice coating to it. And also the spices on top of it are really add to it in a really lovely way. Hey, Carrie, I'll come back and revisit the tea for you in a second, okay? Carrie says he missed the type of tea I was having. So we'll come back to it in a minute. Let me get through this mixing in of the curry paste, because we want to go ahead and let this continue to simmer before we mix in the already cooked meat to warm up. And like I said, it is thickening up lovely, and you can see it keeps the color as we go. Even on the camera, you can see it's just getting richer and richer. Oh, amazing. Now, one thing I will tell you, Panang curry splits. Don't worry about it. It does that. Even if you see the picture on the thumbnail, that's fine. It's okay. This is one of those few times where that's an okay thing to happen. It's just the way of the Panang curry. Don't freak out. There are lots of sauces where it's a really bad thing if it splits, and this is not one of those times. Alrighty. Let me turn this down just a smidge so it doesn't burn. And let me get here. Let's see. I've lost track. Let's see. Rickwin says she really liked meatloaf back in the day. And Carrie's had 799 days, no coffee or caffeine. Let's see, cooked yogurt, we already talked about that. Oh, and Carrie says he used to use the brand from Kroger. He hasn't had peanut butter in a while. Most peanut butters are like that. Yeah, you know, honestly, I used to be able to get a lot of the peanut and salt nut butters, and it's just becoming more and more rare. And I will tell you, it was all of the nut butters, the sunflower butter, the cashew butter, the mixed seed butters were all like that. So it was very disappointing. As Sharon says, brand loyalty, and they assume you don't check ingredients. Yeah, very much so. And Renee says that most of the HEBs have a grind your own nut butter. Yeah, and our Fresh Time has the grind your own. And I wouldn't have minded that, except for that I'm on a time crunch, and just walking over to the Kroger real quick was where I was at today. So it is what it is. And this will be fine if the other nut butters don't arrive. Let's see, turn it down a little more. See, Carrie says the pork loin cooked in yogurt wouldn't be cold since it has some coats on it. Oh, okay. Yep. And Sharon says Costco has either almond or peanut butter, just nuts and salt. Yes, but I didn't have the ability to run over to Costco real quick. So this is going to do in a pinch. And also the jars for Costco were going to be way too big to just tuck in my bike. I'm only taking the small bike bag, so it has some limitations. So this is it. This is it. Carrie says he had struggles with the grind your own peanut butter. You know, I think I took a video of that once, but maybe we'll do it again so I can post it as a short or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. And then Carrie says my cat's been through again. Yeah. And you can see like there's like a yellow ball right there. That is attached to an elastic on one of those sticks. And really what it is that she super wants to play. But obviously I'm busy right now. And she will bring it, the whole thing. She'll bring it up the stairs, down the stairs. She can put it through. There's a baby gate that has a little pet entry on it, and she can get it through there. She's very aggressive. She wants to play. She is an active small cat. All right, let me start getting these leaves out. They have done their job. You can see where they went in dry. Now they're soft, floppy, and pliable. Because you don't want to eat them. Now, if you can get fresh keffir leaves, what you want to do then, those you can eat. They're not too fibrous. And you would just finely slice them up and add them at the end. and let them hit the end of your sauce. But when they're dried like this, it's like they're too tough. So you just want to simmer them, infuse the flavor, and then take them out. All right, stir, stir, stir. Because we don't want anything burning and sticking to the bottom of the pan. We want to keep it active. And now, the pork. Get this out of the way. And check it out, guys. So like we 30 minutes, and honestly, it would have been faster, but we were chatting. So I don't want to splash. There we go. One stubborn pork piece. All right. And now we just give this a stir and let it come to warm up. And some of that yogurt and spice is going to come off into the sauce. So we'll just have to give it a little bit to come together, and we're done. In the meantime, let me just get it coated in the sauce so it can go. And then we can taste the tea. And then I'm going to show you what I got at the farmer's market, because I know that some of you are going to be super excited about it. Let's see. All right, there we go. And yeah, I cannot wait to share this curry with you. And I know I said I don't need a whole meal, but I will take a little taste of it because delicious, delicious. And let me grab a little dish. It needs a couple minutes to warm up the pork and come together, but let me see what I've got here. Let's take a little tasting dish and get a spoon. Here we go. Too much simmering. But you can see, look at that nice, lovely, thick gravy. It's going to be fantastic. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oh, and Carrie says the sauce looks wonderful, and then also acknowledges my silly cat. Tilla says, and the cat demos the cat toy. Oh, was she playing with it back there? What a crazy cat. She really loves that thing, like a ton. Oh, God, so good. Also, in case you're wondering, for my iced drink, I got me some iced coffee. So that's the other beverage of the evening. But oh my God, this is so good. Oh, hey, Matt Sparkles joined. They made the intro video for me. Oh, nice. Well, welcome. Well, we're making some curry, and we're going to talk about some fun products here. So went to the farmer's market yesterday, and I did get some sauerkraut, but I've already put it, and it's in the back of the fridge, so I forgot to dig it out to share with you. I buy my sauerkraut if I don't make my own, or if it's fermenting and it's just not ready and I want some. We have a local company here that makes their sauerkraut. It's called Chili Chic, and they've got one that's mustard greens and mustard green kraut, and it is just fantastic. But I got something else yesterday, and I can't even remember which one it was, but it was so good. My cat is meowing at me like, come play, and I'm like, I'm on a live stream. Sorry, cat. But we always go and I talk to all the vendors like a crazy person. We talk to the cheesemongers. We talk to everybody. Much to the chagrin of the people who have to go with me, because it's not just like a nice little stroll through. We got to talk and chat, and there's a place there that sells some salsas that I really enjoy, but I didn't need that because a friend of mine has been going to New Mexico recently, and so she picked up some jars of salsa that are some of my favorite, and I'm going to get that tomorrow. So I didn't buy any salsa. Plus, you know, like it's summer almost, so I could make my own salsa. So we just didn't. But what I did do here was I ran into this company, and I've tasted their stuff before, and I just was like, I'm buying this. And it is phenomenal. They're called black cap hot sauce. Uh, Black cap hot sauce are fermented, so and with live cultures, and so naturally we talked. I got one of the chili chic people from the sauerkraut, brought them over, and we had like a whole big gut biome, fermented food, gut health talk. And Carrie says he acknowledges that I'm not a doctor, but he was told that tannin in his Rubio's tea last time was interfering with his iron trouble that he's having. Not sure what to do. I've done everything. Uh, how much of the Rubio's tea are you having? You should really only have, like, all of these teas should not be something you have every day or multiple times a day, like once a week. And so, yeah, if you're having it more than that once a week, it's possible that it could be interfering with your iron absorption. But you also have a lot of gut problems, so it may not be the only thing. It could be lots of things, and it could just be your gut health in general. But you probably want to look at an iron supplement because, quite frankly, you eat carnivore and you eat a lot of red meat. So your iron really shouldn't be getting low. So if it is, you definitely need to start working on troubleshooting that. And despite the fact that I know that we are in a ketoverse where people eschew supplements and make a big fuss, if your body needs it, then take it. And your body will thank you in the long run as you work towards finding what you need to do so that you don't need the supplementation. And I've got a good example for that. But I'm going to go back to talking about these hot sauces. So first of all, the taste is phenomenal. Oh my God, it is so, so, so good. Tutu Q Cat says the cat's not impressed with the live stream chat. Most definitely not. But I spent some time with them, and actually, I have their website. It is www.blackcaphotsauce.com. Let me see if I can reach my keyboard. Oh, maybe, because I should have given this card to someone. Let's see, to do it, but let's see if we can do it. Black Cap. Hopefully that works. And let me just slide this over here out of the way again. I often can't reach my keyboard, or I forget and leave it in the other room. So, hard to say. So they do some shipping. I do not know the price or the cost. We said we would get together and talk about it. But just, this has water. Look, you guys, she's bringing the toy to me. Oh, my gosh. I feel like such a meanie mama right now. Anyways, it has water, red Fresno chilies, sea salt, chia seeds, garlic, ginger, and lime zest. And they've fermented it, and it is just, oh my gosh. Again, I cannot say how amazingly delicious it is. The label says this product contains living culture, so some bubbles or a chef's hiss may release upon opening. True. Black Cap naturally fermented hot sauce is mild on heat and wild on flavor, perfect on eggs, wings, tacos, tofu, marinades, soups, and more. I'm probably not going to be getting any tofu, but I'll tell you what it is tasty on, and that's paneer. So, all right, so my curry is in a delightful state. And I am thrilled to pieces with it. So this is the hot sauce you can buy from Black Cap. We are talking about partnership, but really we weren't going to do it on the fly. I didn't want to do that, and neither did they. But I did tell them I was going to talk about them on my YouTube and gave them all that info. But here's the thing is, if you are in Columbus, Ohio, and you go to the Worthington Farmers Market and you find their booth, ask them, hey, do you have a secret stash today? And only at their booths can you sometimes buy things from their secret stash. And so I did. And I got jalapeno coriander hot sauce, and a green apple serrano. Now, I know green apples are not necessarily something you eat a lot of in a ketogenic diet, but let me just show you. See, it even says secret stash on the label. But, okay, first of all, it's hot sauce, and so you don't generally tend to eat like a whole giant half cup on it. And a teaspoon on fermented, when their big giant vat of hot sauce has a very small amount of apples, you're gonna get like 1 or 2 carbs out of you could have half the bottle and get 1 or 2 carbs, and so I'm okay with it. They were warning me that since this is super mild and you could literally like just drink it, it's so tasty and delicious. It's not hot at all. Shauna, could he have it? Shauna, you would die if you had my green apple serrano though. But they were telling me, because someone else was there asking about some hotter hot sauce, and they said this was a significant step up, and to be cautious when tasting because it had a bit of a kick. And so I was a little bit like, well, I don't know if I'm in the mood for super hot, but let's try it. And I took it and I felt a little bit on my tongue, but otherwise I was like, yeah, okay, maybe we don't have the same metric for hot, but it was, delicious. So I'll be having that on my fish, on my eggs, you name it. That's what I'm going to be having. Oh, okay. Barely Begun says he's pretty sure a lot of us would watch a meditation asthma video of me just playing with the cats and the fuzzy stick toy. Maybe. I just think it's funny. But after she brought it to me and I ignored her, look, she took it back out there. Like she knows. I mean, once the camera goes off, we have some time to play. And Sharon says she'll be checking them out. Yeah, it's really worth it. So great tea, delicious, delicious curry. Take a couple pieces here. Get some extra sauce on there. I'll come up close and show you. So I know it's not like much to look at in the little dish, the tasting dish, but at least we can bring it up close. There we go. So that is what our Panang curry looks like. And Air Fry Nanny says, duly noted. And Sharon says it looks good. It tastes good too. Me who said I don't need dinner is like, I could go for a big bowl, but I definitely don't need one. So I mentioned that we are going for a bike ride to watch the eclipse. So I thought I would talk about why the eclipse is special or different this year. Because first of all, the conspiracy theories are wild, absolutely crazy. And so first of all, we do have eclipses on a regular basis. The difference and why this is so popular and exciting and bringing everybody out is because we usually don't have an over 100-mile swath in the United States going in totality. That is a rare experience. A small sliver, and also usually eclipses are very short and they go super fast because they're partial solar eclipses, or even if it does have totality, it's only a very tiny area where you would see that. In this case, the eclipse is going to last like 3 hours. It is not the apocalypse, friends. It is normal. It is part of eclipse cycle. It's not, I'm sorry, unfortunately, our politicians might not be good, but they can't do anything about the weather. It's fine. So don't worry. It's not the apocalypse. I promise you. And I'm not even a real scientist. I'm just a nerd who's really into these things. So I'm excited to go. And Air Fryer Nanny says she won't be seeing it there, sadly. Now, Air Fryer Nanny, you're not in the path of totality, but you still should have some experience with the eclipse. It should be a little bit of a partial eclipse where you are. But I don't know. But you're right. I don't think that you would necessarily really see anything about it. The percentage will be very small. But yeah. But so we actually did, because we are nerdy in that fashion and love things like the eclipse, we planned this great big bike ride. So I already told you that I was packing my bag. I packed a battery as well for my phone, and then I packed my battery pack so that if I needed to, I'm taking the e-bike, of course. So I went ahead and go, so that way if I need to plug my battery in, I can do that. Oh, and Air Fryer Nanny says she got to see the 2017 eclipse loud and clear. Nice. And Barely Begun says up in Oregon, he thinks they're just a mere 20% coverage. That's still pretty cool. Yeah, and Sharon says she's in a 98% zone, so just staying home. Yeah, for us, it was worth it, honestly. Taking the day off work, even though I just got back from a convention, I really just needed to. I'm ready. Just a few days back in the office, and I was like, oh my God. It felt like I'd been gone for months with the way my work had piled up. It was insane. And Marion says, sorry, she's late. We'll have about 60% where she is in Florida. That's still pretty cool. So we're going and we're riding our bikes. We're going to enjoy time on the patio with friends and get to enjoy something that is really, you only get to see it a few times in your life. So that's why people are crazy about it. Not because there's any weird plan, but because it's a rare event. If the event was something else, but it was really rare and you only got to see it, once a decade or even less, you would go to that. So that's why. And so I'm super looking forward to it. And also, on the off chance that it were a rapture, I'll be honest, I'm not the right kind of person that would get raptured, so I'll just be here anyways. Just saying. All right, so anyways. I probably should have cut that instead of shoving the whole piece in my mouth, but, it is what it is. It's very tasty. That's what it is. Hey, Uncle Big Guy. Nice to see you. Renee says her too. So, okay, let's review for Carrie. I'm going to bring this up to the camera again so you can see it. This is from our local woman-owned farm here in Ohio. They're called Foraged and Sown. And their farm grows herbs, and they also have a salt mine. So they have some delightfully seasoned salts. Like I've gotten a truffle salt before that is just like, oh my gosh, amazing. Everything I have tonight is amazing. So I'm very fortunate. But this one is called Boreal. And it has juniper berry, which is good for gut health. And when I say gut health, not in the way that our life probiotic fermented foods are, more in an acid reduction way. So it helps if you have heartburn or GERD or things like that. Then it has elderflower, lemon thyme, and tulsi. And I was explaining earlier about tulsi is a type of basil. It's a sweet basil. So all of those things come together and get you a nice, relaxing, calming tea. And the tulsi adds a lot of the antioxidants and helps with your immune system. Is nice if you have like toothaches. Does not replace dental care. You need to go to the dentist if you have a toothache and get your antibiotics and get it taken care of. But in the meantime, it can help soothe your gums and all of that kind of fun stuff. So that's our tea tonight. And yes, it's 100% caffeine free because it's plant leaves. And Carrie says he knows about these herbs. So there you go. That was my tea this evening. So, all right. So let me see. Tomorrow is also going to be a huge test for my e-bike riding. I'm going to be very interested in seeing it because one part of this ride is the super hill, I'm going to call it. So I made this hill 3 times in the past, and it's grueling. It's a 9% grade, which means it's like this. So when you come in, you go from a flat and straight up. And the problem is that right here at the bottom is a stoplight. So it's super hard. It's a challenge. Sometimes I tell people one day we should go, instead of actually riding the ride, we should go and stand about halfway up the hill with a big sign that just says you can do it. And there is no shame if you can't, because let me just tell you, it is a brutal, it is a challenge. It is, that is exactly what it is. And that's how most people treat it. It's a challenge. So I do not expect to just scurry up the hill on my e-bike. I do expect to have to work, just maybe not as hard as on my regular bike. But I need to make sure that I'm paying attention as I approach that stoplight to make sure that I've got it, got all of the gearing appropriate along paired with the rest to make sure that I can do what I need to do to get up that hill. Because let me tell you, if I screw up on an 80-pound e-bike, it's going to be much more of a challenge than if I screw up on my little 18-pound Amanda. So but I'm looking forward to. Also, the real challenge is coming back and going down that hill. Let me tell you, that's a scary hill to go down. It's hard on the brakes. And I've got a lot of weight, so let's see what that's going to be like. And Carrie says he has to slow down on his tea drinking for now. The search for a supplement he can afford. He's been donating 3 bags of platelets again, so he's not been absorbing iron. Yeah, food stability is lacking again in the house. Yeah, those are challenges, but you know what? I gave you that list of food banks. Use them. They will help you, and it may not be everything that you want or everything that you need, but you can also let those food banks know ahead of time that you have intolerances and allergies and things that you're looking for, and you can give back the things that you cannot use, and a lot of them will be able to help you with the things that you do need. So work with them because they can give you that hand up. And Renee says it sounds like fun to her. Yeah, because you're also a psycho like me, in a good way. It's not an insult, just in case anybody's thinking so. And Carrie says he's been using the food banks, and they've been working, and donates the foods, and he donates the foods that he can't use to his church. Oh, smart thinking. That's a good reuse. And Air Fryer Auntie says she's proud of me. She's challenged in her auto transmission driving hills in San Francisco. Oh yeah, San Francisco is full of hills. And Renee says, taken as a compliment. That is exactly how I meant it, so I'm glad you did. Do my little happy food dance, right? All right. And Carrie says the ride sounds wonderful. Yeah, and what's nice is we're going to leave early enough that we can, we're going to do what I call slow roll. I mean, well, everybody who bicycles knows what slow roll means, but we're going to do that so that we can enjoy the outside weather. You know, our weather is not always lovely in Ohio. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. And Renee says hills in Austin are a beast, but once got over 45 miles an hour coming out of, I can't read it, Bastrop parking, doing 45, let's see, MS 151 year, scary AF on a carbon bike. Oh, for sure. Oh my God. Yes. So we have a Peltonia ride, which is a cancer fundraiser. and they've reworked the routes. But for a while on one of their routes, and Attila can attest to it because he's ridden it several times, they had a hill like that where it's like straight down and screeched to a stop. Like, what are you doing? In my mind, I get it. Some of these rides are for power cyclists, but I also feel like they should make more effort to make them slightly more accessible to more people. But it's just my opinion. Might be unpopular. I'm going to get my storage bowl for the curry after the live stream because we're just about ready to end, and I want to be able to clean up quickly and then take a look at finishing prepping for the ride tomorrow. I already packed the chaffles, or I wish I hadn't because then I could show them to you. They are so delightful. But I look forward to it, and I can't wait to talk to you all later in the week. We can talk about our eclipse experiences and all that good fun stuff. So let's see. Oh, and Renee says the MS-150 offers alternate routes for less scare difficulty as well. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I will tell you, Peltonia does have some alternate routes, and they've actually reworked them a lot in our area, so it didn't have that in it. But it's still quite the challenge. But it's a good ride, and I'd love to do it some more. Except for the problem I have is that Gen Con moved forward, so now it conflicts, and I have to. So now what I'm doing is I'm making a large donation to our AEP cycling team, so that I give it to a team that I know needs fundraising assist, and because there are fundraising requirements. And they have a good team, so I shuffle some monies there and just make a nice fat donation because I do go to Gen Con because I do a lot of networking and I volunteer and also do some paid work at Gen Con. So it's not like I can just say like I'm going to skip that because it gives me a fair chunk of money. So yeah, unfortunately I had to pick and choose. I think, well, yeah, that's it. So let's see. Let's see. Air Fry Nanny says, yeah, Bart works, but she won't ride the section that goes under the bay. Oh, boat. All right. So I think that I'm going to get going. We're right on the hour, and it's time for me to pack it up and get going. So Sharon says she used to park in Dublin and then Bart to Berkeley. Oh, wow. Nice. All right. I'm going to get going. You have a great evening, guys. Thanks for joining me for Coffee Talk. I hope that you enjoy some curries in the near future. You have a wonderful day. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for spending Sunday evening with me. Goodbye, everyone.